Albert Einstein was born in 1879, and he died in 1955. He was a German-born Jewish physicist who's best known for his theory of relativity, and specifically mass-energy equivalence, E equals mc squared. In 1999, Einstein was named Time magazine's Person of the Century, and a poll named him the greatest physicist of all time. He had such an impact upon modern culture that the name Einstein has become synonymous with the word genius.
In this program, we're going to take a look at this fascinating man and find out what he believed about life's most important issue. Is there a God? And then we're going to turn the spotlight on you and find out if you are an Einstein. Are you a good person?
Have you ever lied?
What happens after someone dies?
You ever stolen anything? Trust in Christ. There are many who, in an attempt to show atheism to be intellectual, have claimed that Albert Einstein was an atheist. However, the brilliant scientist said the exact opposite.
In the view of such harmony in the cosmos, which I, with my limited human mind, am able to recognize, there are yet people who say there is no God. But what makes me really angry is that they quote me for support of such views.
Einstein also said,
"We know nothing about God and the world at all. All our knowledge is but the knowledge of school children. Possible we shall know a little more than we do now, but the real nature of things, that we shall never know. Never."
He even revealed his insightful mind with,
"I see a pattern, but my imagination cannot picture the maker of the pattern. I see a clock, but I cannot envision the clockmaker. The human mind is unable to conceive of the four dimensions. So how can it conceive of a God before whom 1,000 years and 1,000 dimensions are as one?"
When asked to what extent are you influenced by Christianity, he said,
"As a child, I received instruction in both the Bible and the Talmud. I am a Jew, but I am enthralled by the luminous figure of the Nazarene."
When asked if he accepted the historical existence of Jesus, he replied,
"Unquestionably, no one can read the Gospels without feeling the actual presence of Jesus. His personality pulsates in every word. No myth is filled with such life."
Albert Einstein wasn't a fool. He believed in God. He said of the Creator's existence,
"I am not an atheist. I don't think I can call myself a pantheist. The problem involved is too vast for our limited minds. We are in the position of a little child entering a huge library filled with books in many languages. The child knows someone must have written those books. It does not know how. It does not understand the languages in which they are written. The child dimly suspects a mysterious order in the arrangement of the books, but doesn't know what it is. That, it seems to me, is the attitude of even the most intelligent human being toward God. We see the universe marvelously arranged and obeying certain laws, but only dimly understand these laws."
He continued,
"What separates me from most so-called atheists is a feeling of utter humility toward the unattainable secrets of the harmony of the cosmos."
In fact, Einstein tended to be more critical of debunkers who seemed to lack humility or a sense of awe than of the faithful. He wrote in a letter,
"The fanatical atheists are like slaves who are still feeling the weight of their chains which they have thrown off after hard struggle. They are creatures who, in their grudge against traditional religion as the opium of the masses, cannot hear the music of the spheres."
In other words, because of their hatred of traditional religion, they can't see the genius of God's handiwork in creation.
Okay, in a minute, we're going to have a test to see if you are a genius. Now, we're going to test your intelligence level, and you're going to need a pen and a paper. So please get this or it won't work. You're going to have 1 minute before we start, so go get the pen and paper. And while you're doing that, here's another quote from Albert Einstein.
"I want to know how God created this world. I'm not interested in this or that phenomenon, in the spectrum of this or that element. I want to know His thoughts. The rest are details."
Those who take time to read the Bible can know how God created this world. Just read Genesis chapter 1. And they can read the thoughts of God throughout Holy Scripture. But the reason many people won't believe it is because it's not merely a history book. The Bible is also a moral book. And for that reason, many people refuse to believe its pages. All right, here now is the test. Now, to make this work, please don't talk to anyone while you listen and write down your answers. Sorry, we're not going to be able to repeat the questions. You'll only have a chance to hear them once, so listen carefully. Number 1, how many of each animal did Moses bring onto the ark? Number 2, what is the name of that raised print that deaf people use? Number 3, is it possible to end a sentence with the word the? Number 4, spell the word shop. Shop. All right, what do you do when you come to a green light? Write it down. Number 5, it's noon. You look at the clock, and the big hand is on the 3, and the little hand is on the 5. What time is it? Number 6, spell the word silk. Silk. Okay, what do cows drink? Number 7, listen carefully. You are the driver of a train. There are 30 people on board. At the first stop, 10 people get off the train. At the next stop, 5 people get on the train. Now here's the question. What is the name of the driver of the train? It's amazing how we can think we know something and be completely wrong.
Often we don't take the time to listen carefully before we answer. Now try these. Read out loud the wording in the 3 triangles. Come on, read out loud. Let's now look at the answers to each of these questions. Number 1, how many of each animal did Moses take into the ark? None. It was Noah. Moses didn't take any animals into the ark. Number 2, what is the name of the raised print that deaf people use? Deaf people don't use raised print. It's blind people that use Braille. Number 3, is it possible to end a sentence with the word the? Of course, this question is an example of one. Number 4, spell the word shop. What do you do when you come to a green light? At green lights, you don't stop, you go. Number 5, clock. The big hand is on 3, the little hand is on 5. What time is it? Well, if it is noon, it is noon. Get a new clock. Number 6, spell the word silk. What do cows drink? They don't drink milk. Cows drink water. Number 7, listen carefully. You're the driver of a train. There are 30 people on board. The first stop, 10 people get off. At the next stop, 5 people get on. Now for the question, what is the name of the train driver? Well, this was the question. Listen carefully. You are the driver of a train. Number 8, Paris in the spring. Bird in the hand. Once in a lifetime.
So how'd you do? Do you feel a bit humbled? We did too. The point of these tests should remind us that our eyes and our ears can fool us. Our senses are not always trustworthy, and as human beings, we are prone to make mistakes. And the Bible warns, he who trusts in himself is a fool.
Do you trust your own judgments?
Of course.
Spell the word shop.
Spell the word what?
Shop. Where you buy things. Shop.
S-H-O-P.
What do you do when you come to a green light?
You stop.
Green light.
Go.
Spell the word shop.
S-H-O-P.
What do you do when you come to a green light?
Stop.
Green light.
Oh, go.
S-H-O-P.
What do you do when you come to a green light?
I stop.
Green light.
I go.
Stop. Green light. Stop. Green light.
Oh, go.